We're in a time right now where people need to really get their mindset right. Because right now, like more than ever, money is inflating, and we have all this the whole situation of like after COVID and how everybody reacted to that. So most people are reacting to the market,
Right.
and then they don't really have a mindset to kind of like focus where they need to do. I think mindset is something that not everybody has, and it takes years to kind of develop and really have an abundance mindset.
Yeah, there's like, what is it, like the reactive and then the proactive approach to your finances. Some people think that things happen to them in life, whereas the real entrepreneurs and the leaders, we make things happen in our lives. We make a plan, we stick to the plan, we have discipline, and we get there. I think the main thing with like this is like they're coming into this program, welcome. And we're going to basically help you with your money and fix your credit. And fixing your credit it's not going to be necessarily easy. I mean, it's going to be easy with the way that we do it, but you have to focus on. But wherever you focus is where your time and your energy is going to be put, and it's going to improve and things like that.
Mindset starts with the ability to realize that you are not stuck in the
Right.
current position that you're in.
That's
Anybody in their state of mind, and I've dealt with people, because I have tenants. I have over like 40 tenants that I deal with every day. That because I have my own management company. I have my team that goes out and they tell me, oh, this guy, he ran out of money, or he had, he didn't know what to do with his money, and he spending money on something he shouldn't have spent his money on. He can't make rent now. So, and it's like, well, situational mindset is like situational awareness. Like, well, what are you doing with your money, and where is your mind, where is your attention now going? Right now, information and attention is where all entrepreneurs are now realizing that's more important than anything is how to set people up for success by setting their minds right from the beginning.
Yeah.
If you come in with a mindset that this program may or may not help you, if you have a doubtful mindset, like you're doubting yourself, you've already failed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you need to come in with the mindset that you're gonna succeed. You're gonna buy those multi-unit, multi-properties, or multi cars, or whatever you're trying to do in your life. You're gonna start that business. You are gonna do it. I will do it. I will.
Yeah,
It's not about.
exactly.
I mean, for me personally, it's not about even will. It's about it's happening. It's already happening. Like I've already done it. I've already seen it. Like when I bought my first property, oh man, it's gonna be so hard to buy a first property. Then I went and bought another one, and then I was like, oh my god, like I got two people. I got two properties now. Then I'm like, oh my God, like how am I going to manage three? And I was like, well, I can envision having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, right? And it's just like, well, it just becomes easier as
Yeah,
you
once you
grow.
kind of break through the walls. I think the main mindset for this is like we got to take a step back and tell everybody kind of like what it was like when you started out though. Like you invested $8,000 to fix your credit, but it was because you were willing to make the investment, and then you got $300,000 worth of credit. You know what I mean? So you can actually start to get out. So I
Yeah.
think let's kind of go back to that and
Sure,
maybe
let's yeah,
start
we
like
can we
that.
can start there. And I think, welcome to the program. I want everybody to feel welcome here. We're here to, all have an open dialogue about what it means to be, financially free or financially set. And that means, having your finances, your financial situation right. And most people don't know, besides having your money right, you need to have your credit right. So
Yeah.
and that's where I think we can start. People work to make money. They exchange time for for money. There's also an area where people don't really realize that everybody has a social security card or social security number, right? And from that, you are automatically like almost like gifted like a credit number, right? Or credit FICO score. And that FICO number, that credit score, that credit number is associated to your ability, your ability to be able to access money that the banks or anyone else is willing to give you, because it kind of reflects your credibility. When you're born, obviously you haven't done any business, nobody really understands how credible you are, right? So
Right.
my son was born, he has a social security card. I'm like, oh shoot, he's got a credit score.
Yeah.
Done.
That's wild.
Whoa. Wow. He's like, well, now how do we build that credit score? Nobody teaches you that in school, right? So it's like,
No, it's always kind of
well,
like hush hush, all this financial
that's
stuff.
the one thing that, yeah, exactly. Like credit score and credit mindset is, well, you are not, in a financial hardship just because you don't have money. You have a credit score which you have access to use as a tool. And when I realized that besides having a job and making money and being an entrepreneur and everything else I was doing hustling wise. And then at the same time, I realized there was this, this kind of like unknown secret, that I would say access to, it's almost like penetrating this whole new realm of financial business and being able to access money that I didn't have, and
Opportunity.
I would always get credit, offers for credit cards. I didn't understand. I always thought like, oh, it's bad. I don't want to have a credit card. I don't want to have to pay debt. I want to have to pay interest. I don't
Mhm.
want to have to deal with like the 17 to 21% interest rate. Because I remember I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, getting a credit card offer for like 29%, 29.99%. I'm like, man, if I use this to go buy some food, like, or even like go to Subway or something, it's going to cost me like almost, 30% more if I don't pay it
Oh,
off the same month.
right.
So it just doesn't make sense. But the thing is, that's where, it's kind of like they want you to use a credit, but and not pay for it.
Yeah, they want it to be
Yes,
irresponsible because they make money on that.
exactly. They're making money off debt.
Mhm.
Now, you on the other hand can leverage debt or use debt, and that's a whole nother topic. But credit allows you to access money that you didn't have, which is debt. But if you're able to use that debt wisely, if you're able to use the debt and pay certain things and pay it off at the end of the month, there's no interest accumulated. They have no right. The Federal Credit Act won't allow any bank or anybody else to charge you interest on a credit card that you never, that you paid off at the end of the month. They
Yeah.
can't, because that's why they have the whole minimum payment thing. It's actually an illusion to get you in debt. When they put that minimum payment thing, it's like, oh, pay your minimum payment, hold the balance because we're gonna charge you. They want you to hold the balance. But there's all people say, oh, you have to hold that balance in order to grow your credit. That is completely false.
Mm.
Building credit means using the credit, paying it off on time. Using the
Right.
credit, paying it off on time. That builds credibility. That shows that you can, and they'll give you more and more money. You'll see as the banks, start approving you for credit cards. You'll see that, oh, my credit was, 600 score, and now it's 700 score. Now they're giving me more access to money, but then they're still giving me small loans. Well, because your credit is not credible enough, and that's where we go into this whole program is about, is to how
Yeah.
to build your credit from the ground up, how to get the credibility necessary to get you to the next level and then access money beyond the regular, $3,000 to $5,000 credit limits, which most people have,
Mhm.
and it's going to like the 25, 30, $40,000 credit limits and being able to access multiple lines of those and how to leverage that credit.
Yeah. I was just thinking of like Grant Cardone. I remember watching one of his videos, but he's like, you want to get in debt, get into more debt, buy so you can buy more real estate, so you can have more opportunities, so you can start more businesses. So there's definitely good debt and bad debt. And we never want to set somebody up for failure, which is why, you're in this program so that we can teach you, first of all, how to make the look like identify where you are right now. Like that's the first thing anybody with their finances has to do. It's like just be honest with yourselves. I'm sure most people that come into this program are probably not exactly where they want to be, but then we're going to make a plan, step by step by step. First, we're going to fix your credit. Next, we're going to open up some trade lines. Next, we're going to start applying for funding and getting you different kinds of funding. And now you're going to have a whole new life at the end of this journey where you can start all kinds of different opportunities. But it starts by just like acknowledging where you are right now. You don't have to sugarcoat it. And it's not like the end of the world if you're in debt. It happens to everybody up and down. That's just how life goes. Now it's time to focus and get your mind right and say, okay, for the next 6 months, I'm just going to put my head down, do the annoying, granular things of like seeing how much money am I making? How much money am I spending? Finding the amount that you can start to invest to fix your credit, and then also how to make more money so that you can start fixing your credit faster, so that you can start this whole process of getting out of where you are into the new, credit leverage experience, where that you want to be in.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Robert. I mean, this is what this is about. We started this because we wanted to help people, right?
Yeah.
Me and you are, we're at a place where, we're good, we're happy. Why? But this doesn't really, in any way benefit us in that way. We're helping others, because they need to change their lives.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more, I'm seeing more and more friends, family, and people that, my own employees, always complaining about not having enough money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like, what do you mean? You got like, there's so much money. Like
Yeah, we need to get people
there's
there.
so much money. So, and I don't because but I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I understand why people are thinking that way because they weren't educated. They didn't have the right mentors. They
Yeah,
didn't have people that mentored you, Robert. They didn't have people that mentored me, in order to be able to have this kind of like, oh, free mentality, not worrisome all the time, and not worrying about an employee, but also having to run multiple businesses. Unemployment is not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
yeah,
Some people want to work on one thing and stay focused on one thing. Sure, that's another option, but you can focus your mind on getting yourself right while you're employed. Get your
right.
credit right. You could be working, getting your thing. We will help you get your credit right, get you to the next level as far as like getting access to money that you didn't have. So you don't have to have that, oh, I need to live paycheck to paycheck, which is what most people are doing now. And they're living paycheck to paycheck and having to cover all their bills and living off of whatever is left over and having a hard time saving.
Yeah,
Saving, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's good at saving, and as you mentioned, debt is, there's good and bad debt, but most people get into debt because they can't save money, and they have to leverage debt to save their own life. They're literally like, they have to
right.
get some money to go fill up gas. They need money, to pay rent. They need money to eat. I'm talking about, this is the stuff that I deal with every day because of my tenants that have those problems. And then as a caveat, be having somebody like me as their landlord, or the company that I run. I always try to give them 2 cents of advice. Hey, you know what? You should, have you looked into how your credit is doing? I always ask that question. How is your credit doing?
Right.
Oh, well, who cares about my credit? What does my credit have to do with my finances?
Yeah.
Well, the credit is your, like, it's almost like it's like the epitome of what finances is, because every bank in the United States of America looks at your credit report, whether it's a soft pull or a hard pull. They pull your credit, they look at your credibility, and they decide whether or not they want to give you money. Now, that is powerful. Now, you're telling me that mindset doesn't matter? Yes, it does. You have to have the mindset that you're no longer just an
A
employee.
victim, yeah, or a
Exactly.
victim
You're
or
not
an
the victim. You're
employee.
not. You're
Yeah.
not the victim. You're
We're
not the.
gonna
You're not the.
we're gonna
Go
teach
ahead.
them the game to fucking play to make the bureaus understand like this is what it looks like so that they'll give us money. It's so crazy
Yes.
that these like big ass like entities run the freaking whole country's credit. They just decided they're like we're the leaders, so now we have to like play their game, right? But that's what we're gonna teach people, which is pretty
Yeah, well,
cool.
that's the thing. I mean, the life, like, but I mean, if you want to really talk about life and mindset, like this, the mindset is you're born and you can't allow your parents, whatever position they are, to affect your potential. But I had nothing to begin with. I had to go to school. I did all that. No, but I didn't know anybody any better. If I had known about this before I even went to school, maybe I wouldn't even have done that. But I'm not, playing down school as a, as a means to getting a job. Getting an education is always good. I love school and I love education, but I think the education and livelihood are two different things.
Yeah.
So you have to get educated to understand, to communicate with people and be able to have this kind of conversation. And you need to learn that language. In this case, I was speaking Russian. I had to learn English, right? So
Oh
it's
shit.
like I was only like 6, 7 years old, but I had to learn it still. And I was an ESL student for years. So at the end of the day, it's like I think the mindset is, don't always have the mindset of abundance, knowing that, hey,
Right.
your limits are not limited. Like, you are not limited, you are unlimited. Said you have your growth. You just have to put your mind to it, and whatever you decide to put your mind towards and do, you can accomplish. There's nothing stopping you if you really want to put this in, and put this at work. Now, credit is the biggest thing that if you dive deep into it, you will realize the opportunities are endless. Just like, when you think about, oh, it's great to have real estate, it's great to have a business. Well, you can't have any of that if you don't have credit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, this is the core, the foundation of every entrepreneur, every business owner, every businessman, CEO, you name it. They all had to start with making sure they had their finances in order. make sure that their credibility with the banks are in order and they are ready to go into funding and access money that they didn't have and start to build a business and access money that they were able to use working capital. I'm sure you heard the word working capital to
Yeah.
use and grow a business as it goes. You need working capital. If you're having to spend your own hard-earned money as an employee working and having to start a business with your own hard money, it's very hard. I know, I've done it. It's
Yeah.
not easy. It's very hard. But
That's what I've
then,
told you, is like, that's every
yeah,
business I've ever had to start was bootstrapped, and it's just like a grind. So once you can actually start to play with other people's money, like, it was actually good for me to start bootstrap, but now I know, my eyes are wide open, that I can change way more lives by using other people's credit, other people's money, other than just my own. And then also my own credit from people that see the skills that we've learned and see the things that we've done. But most people will go their whole lives without having that kind of opportunity. And that's kind of what I think the whole thing that we're here is, we're opening people's eyes to, look, you can have that dream business. You can have the real estate career that you really want. You can basically start your own investing portfolio. And it has to start, though, by fixing your credit first,
yes, fixing your credit first and getting educated on it.
Yeah,
Like
getting educated.
educate, if you, we will not only help you fix your credit, we will get you educated, and you will have so much more information coming out. You'll have more ideas of what to do with your money after you finish this program, which is what we're trying to accomplish here, is help people access money, fix their credit, and grow. And we're not telling you to go quit your job. We're not telling
No.
you to, don't, tell your mom and dad, hey, you know what, you guys aren't good enough for me, I have to go do something else. No, your parents are there. They did what they had to do. They did
Right.
what they have to do. And if you're here in the United States and America, and or any other country, and you're trying to learn about how this credit system works, this is the program that will tell you how it works and how everything is put together. We're not gonna block anything out. Everything's gonna be on the table. Anything I know, anything Robert knows, is gonna be all clear for you guys to feed off of and grow. And we want you guys to come up to our level and start working with us. We want more business partners. We want more people that can help push this movement, right? This is a movement towards financial freedom. Right now, financial freedom is the hunger of all people, but everybody doesn't, everybody wants it, but nobody knows how to get there. Everybody thinks, oh, they got to grind every day and, hustle their mind off and work 10 jobs and just to buy one property, whatever, right? Which is what I was thinking, oh, shit,
I've done that too. And no, it's
I'm in
not the right way.
California. I'm in California. Back in 2011, a $350,000 property, I had to put like 50, 60K down. I was only working, 9 to 5 job, making a minimum wage, and I was going to school. I mean, how the hell am I going to be able to buy a house? I mean, it's almost impossible. But, and I understand that mindset because I was there. And that's why you have to open up that mind and realize the answers are there. You just have to be able to access it and have the right mentors and coaching classes like these to get you to the next level, to get you to understand that you are not alone. You got people just like myself and Robert, who's gone through this journey called life and struggled through it in many ways. I'm sure Robert has a lot of stories he can share, things that we all went through. And now we're here and we're like saying, man, only if I had known this before, this would have affected my ability to get access to money and not have to, eat junk food for months or whatever, not have to spend
ramen noodles
money just to go, just to get a business keep going. I would have to think about whether I have to pay rent or go out with my girlfriend to dinner. That whole concept, or can I afford to go have dinner at this restaurant today or not? Debt allows you to separate time and space. If you have time, you can put it on debt, and then when you make your money, you pay off your debt. Right. So it gives you that time and space. It gives you that time to catch up. So in order to catch up, you need to have credit. And once you have credit, you can access the money. And when you have the money, you can leverage the money, which is leveraging debt. And then you grow. And then you use that money. But if you use that money to just go to restaurants and eat and have a party, and you're not making extra money to pay off that debt, then you're going to go into debt. But if you're using that money to invest properly, to make the right, investments, mindsets, and of growing and What am I going to
Right.
do with
Money
that?
moves. Yeah.
Money moves, right? Money moves. Then it's no longer about what you're going to do with the money. You have the right mindset in
Yeah.
place, you have the right goals in place, and you're ready to use that money wisely. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm just saying use the money, use 90 to 80% of that money wisely. You can have
Right.
10 to 15% for play money, right?
You got
But
to pay
just
yourself
realize
first.
exactly. But first you pay yourself, first you pay your business, first you pay off your debt, then you
Yeah.
go off and you use the debt for investing other things. So if you have credit cards that you owe, pay off those credit cards. If you have any debt whatsoever, if you need to settle that debt, and if you have that debt is not settled, we will help you settle those debt as well. We help people settle their debt, get out of bankruptcies, get evictions, get child support removed. All that stuff is on the table. Nothing is off the table at this point. As long as you're willing to work and put the time in and learn, and willing to invest in yourself, you're going to get through this program. You're going to get access to money. I would say 5 to 10 times more than what you paid for this program right now. This program, just the fact that you're on this program, right, it's already paid for. I guarantee you.
Right.
That's how bad it is. You
Yeah. And
know.
there's something I think about for mindset is like, don't beat yourself up from where you were. You're here now. You're in the good spot. You have an amazing opportunity right now. Like the way that America is just completely set up is it's a consumer nation, right? We're basically trained since we were babies to go out there, spend our money on stupid shit that we don't need. Really, like it's like Fight Club. It's like we buy crap that we don't need to impress people that we don't care about, and it's just like, what do we do this? So, but it's not your fault. It's been beaten into us. We see, over like, I think it's like 30 commercials a day or advertisements and things like that. And whenever people do get money, we're trained as a society to go spend it on alcohol, to go spend it on things that aren't a good investment. So the whole thing that we're going to be doing right now when you come into this program is we're going to learn how to use this system that has used you, but we're going to teach you how to use it now to get the money back, to truly become like the best version of yourself and have opportunities for your family. I mean, this is literally like the stepping stone for generational wealth, to start taking care of your family. So you're not worried about paying your bills anymore, and you're not worried about, your parents getting sick and not being able to take care of them and things like that. Like this is where it all starts, though, is like getting serious, focusing, having us hold you accountable, and just kind of growing this and doing the work, basically.
Exactly, and growing to become a better version of yourself, like you said. And I
Yeah.
think the main thing is holding yourself accountable, being honest with yourself now. So this
Yeah.
mindset is this specific, I would say module is basically the mindset of get your mind right. Don't feel like you're not gonna be able to succeed. Get
Right.
that out of your mind. If you have any doubt, any way, you should, really, talk to one of us. Like we will tell you otherwise, and we're not
Yeah.
telling you right now. We will tell you, we'll help you get over those, hurdles that you may be feeling at some for any reason, whether it's personal or financial or, or even if it's relationship wise, not, we're all gone through many relationships. Women can kill your dreams, men can kill your dreams, right? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are the only person that can be responsible to be successful in your life, and your dreams are based on your own actions. There's no longer a concept of like, oh, I couldn't do it, or oh, I didn't have money, or my credit wasn't right, you
Yeah.
know.
No more excuses. That's the other name of
There's
this
no.
thing,
This
is
is
it's
what this is.
no
This is
excuses, credit repair.
this is a we call this credit leverage X.
Yeah.
Well, I we could have called this no no excuse university, hustlers university, whatever you want to call it, right? At the
Yeah.
end of the day, what it is you have there's no excuse for you not to be successful in the United States of America. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
the United States system has been put for us for those that do not understand it enough, will be tied into it, and it's made that way purposefully in
Yeah.
order for you to fail. Yes, it's
Exactly. That's
true.
how I was
And if
trying to
I'm a
say.
business owner and I want to make money off my all of my millions of people that live in my country, in this case the United States, at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that they pay their taxes, they pay their bills, and if they don't, they will be penalized for it,
Yeah.
right? And they're going to get penalized. How? How do they penalize you? Not by taking your money. They take your money regardless, because you got to pay your IRS taxes every year. That comes out before you get the paycheck.
Yeah.
That's the withhold before you get the paycheck. But it's really not only do they take your money, then they give you a stamp of credibility. They say, oh, this guy is not credible. He's not
Right.
making payments. We're gonna keep a report about you. It's like a school report.
I feel like I'm being attacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you go to school and you get an F, that's
Yeah.
on your record, right? It
Yeah.
stays there. Like you cannot remove. There's no. I don't know how do you can remove a school degree, like eight. You on a class. Like,
Call a
how do I
lawyer.
remove an F on my credit? Guess what? In credit, you can.
Yeah,
That's the
you can
crazy
fight
part.
back, man.
It's
If you
like,
can,
dude, if you fucked up, excuse my language, but if you screwed up before, you got an opportunity now to kind of like take it to the next level. Like you're able to like, oh, now you're out. You have that opportunity where you can go into your past, change your past, remove the problems at least that you had, remove those bad relationships. That's what they are. The banks are the relationships you had with them. And when you mess up a relationship, that bank is no longer going to want to work with you.
yeah.
It's a relationship. And we talk about people as a relationship, concept wise, mindset with anybody that you talk to. I know you're talking to me, or you're talking to Robert, or you talk to someone else tomorrow. It could be a neighbor, it could be a friend, it could be some guy off the street. Talk to them with respect, because that guy might be your boss one day. And if he sees you again, he's going to be like, hey, who's this guy? I remember this guy,
I
right?
love
So
that.
you
Yeah.
never know who's going to be your boss, right? You never know who's going to be the person that's going to help you get to the next level. And then you're going
Hmm.
to wish you didn't tell them what you did at the time for any reason. You might be mad. And this is me telling myself, because I went through this, and I'm like, man, like I wish I never did those things. I wish I kept, I didn't burn the bridges, right? But
Yeah.
credibility, the United States and the credit bureaus are purposefully, looking at you and making sure you're credible, and your credit report matters. So get your mindset right. You're lucky to be here. You're lucky to have this opportunity, and the fact that we can change it, man, that is monumental. The fact that we can change it, whatever happened in the past, imagine being able to revamp those relationships.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to talk to those banks and saying, hey man, you know what, I screwed up last time. I really want to make a change in my life, and I really want you to give me that opportunity to work with you again. Well, guess what? You can do it now, because we're going to help you do it. We're going to help you, access your credit report and get your credit under the repair process. Get you through the arbitration process. Get you all the way out and clean. And then we're gonna come back and say, yeah, you have a nice clean credit report, as if you were just born almost. But it's obviously a little older and it has more information that's good. We keep the good. We only remove the bad, right? And then all the bad, all the stuff that's good. And if it needs a little more good, and if it's not good enough, we can leverage other people's credit. We can leverage trade lines, and we can grow your credibility. That way, when you go back to that bank, whether it's Bank of America, Chase, or any other bank, credit union, you're going to tell them, hey,
It's gonna be a totally different conversation.
I know you remember me.
Yeah.
It's the same face, same body, same individual, same social security. But now pull my credit.
Yeah. Talk to
Boom.
me.
Oh, whoa. Is this you? I was like, what happened before? I was like, yeah, I just went through some stuff. I now, I know what I know what I need to do. And like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I can get you approved right now. Boom.
Yeah.
Now, oh man, that feeling of getting approved for that card, getting approved for that car, getting approved for that credit line, getting that approval for a mortgage. I mean, these are all in your mix, and you have to get your mind right. And this is what I'm trying to tell. And I think Robert, you can tell more about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, the last thing I really want to mention is like think big. Like this is going to change your life more than any other thing that you can really focus on. I mean, obviously there's health, right? There's
Yeah.
relationships, but for wealth, like credit is going to take you to that next level and open up doors that would have been completely slammed in your face. Like you're just talking about going to the banks and like asking for a loan. Like once you fix your credit and you have a great credit score, they're going to like beg to work with you. They're going to be like, "Oh, please take a loan with us. We need you to do this. Otherwise we don't hit our
We
quotas and
want to
stuff like
charge
that."
you interest. We want to
Yeah.
charge you interest, and we're going to give you a better rate, okay? Because you have better credit, but we're still going to charge you interest. And you tell them, sure, no problem. I would love to take your money. I
Yeah,
would love to
exactly.
take your money. And now you're now when you're sitting at the they call it the negotiation table, or the or the war room, or
Yeah.
the deal table and real estate, right? You call it when you're sitting at the table and you're sitting at the banks, you have now leverage over your credit, and you can now negotiate
There
your
you go.
price.
Yeah.
You can
You get the
negotiate your
power
price.
back.
You get the power back. Now they want you as a client. Now
Yeah.
it's like, well, if you want me so bad, you're gonna have to give it to me, really, really good, because I'm not gonna come there and take care of and work with you and take care of you guys, where I can go down the street and get a better rate, you
Yeah.
know. And that's where now the power is in your hands. Now you're no longer the victim. You are the one driving the business. You're the one driving your life, and you have control. So it's back to the credit thing. It's back to the mindset thing. But credit is. I say credit is like it's life. It's life in many ways. But it's not just when we talk about credit repair, like, oh, we just got to get your credit fixed. But no, it's also like we got to get your financial situation in order. Because if you
Yeah.
get your credit fixed today, and you keep your mindset as you have been, you're going to go back in the same place where you ended up.
That's true.
People have done it many times. They fix their credit, they come back, and they're like, oh man, I did it again.
Right.
But I'm not saying this, you can't do it again. You can do this as many times as you need, honestly.
But you
But
want
the
to
thing
break
is that
break the loop
the
and
good thing is,
grow.
exactly, the point is like, do it once, do it right, and grow, instead of doing it
Yeah.
like over and over and over again, and it's being this constant turmoil of like continuous debt and just never getting out of it, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's what's happening with, I would say, most of population in today's market, and especially after the pandemic, people losing their jobs, not being able to afford the day to day. Eggs are like $8, like
I know.
things like that, like, and it's gonna get worse. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Bradley was saying, this is just the beginning. Now
Yeah.
wait till things get to the point where you can't buy a loaf of bread for less than $10.
Yeah.
My family, we came from communism. We had like, my parents had like a food stamp type of thing where they can buy whatever they had money to buy, and they would buy that one loaf of bread, and that's all they had. And then you buy whatever you could, and you live off that. That's what you do, and you have no choice. So now that's the mindset that has been enforced on the people. Now the people are coming back and saying, no, we are now using the system to help us, and the system
Yeah.
is made this way in order
Hmm.
to allow people that are willing to work hard, that are willing to put the effort in, and are willing to understand how the system has been put in place, and grow from it and use it for its own purposes. And now where that it's no longer that you can't blame the system anymore. Okay,
Yeah. No more
the
excuses.
system is not an excuse. That it's not. It's now. It's you. If you don't do it, it's your fault, and
Right.
that's it. And that's now. Now I want you, after this module, I would say, in this part of the course, accept your faults, accept your situation, be a man, take responsibility, be a woman or a man, take responsibility, and start taking action towards getting yourself out of debt, getting yourself financially in order, and getting yourself properly prepared on the credit side in order to be able to access money that you didn't have before.
Yeah. And then remember that you're worth it, fixing your credit and doing this stuff, like it's worth it for you to do it, and you're worth doing it so that you can live that good life. There's a lot of self-sabotage that happens, but you need to know, like, you're worth fighting for, to fix your credit, to fucking get the house, get the cars, live the dream life. The American dream is kind of like where credit comes in, and that's how you achieve it.
American dream, and I think it's everybody. Talk about the most popular people. You mentioned Grant Cardone and how he pushes people to like leverage debt. But well,
Mm-hmm.
thing is, in order to leverage debt, you have to educate the population in order to
Yeah.
understand that, hey, credit is not is used as a tool in order to access that debt. You don't just get debt just because you have you go to the bank. Hey, give me some money. I want to get into debt. No, the bank is like, well, who are you, and why should I give you money?
Right.
It's your mindset. Your mindset of doing that. Yes, you should go to the bank, but first of all, the bank is going to tell you, well, your credit is at 580. You're like, oh, what
Yeah.
does that mean? Well, that means that I can't give you a loan because you don't have the credibility necessary in order for us to give you a loan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Well, I think
Anyways,
that's
that's
it,
what it
man.
is.
That
Yeah,
was
so I think
good.
every student now should understand that their goal in life should be to get their financial situation right, get their credit right, and then start taking action towards making a change in their life, because this is a life
Yeah.
change. And I want to make this really a life change rather than just like a credit change, right? This is a life
Right.
change, and credit is more of a tool that's going to be used to change your life. So look at
Yeah.
it that way, and this is what we're here to do.
Yeah. That's the transformation. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the mindset. I'll talk to you more in the next one. Peace.
Exactly.